In all things, be moderate. Avoid both extremes and seek the middle path. Gautama Buddha. This profound statement encapsulates the heart of the middle way, or Majjhima Patipada, a central tenet of Buddhism. In our fast-paced, ever-demanding world, where the pressures of work often collide with the needs of our personal lives, this ancient wisdom offers us a timeless and powerful guide to achieving a harmonious balance. The middle way teaches us to navigate life with moderation, avoiding the extremes that can lead to imbalance and suffering. It's about finding a path that allows us to live fully, both in our professional and personal lives, without being overwhelmed by either. In today's context, this principle is especially relevant as many of us struggle to balance the demands of our careers with the equally important need for rest, relationships, and self-care. Let me take you through a scenario that might resonate with many of us. Picture a hardworking professional, someone who's dedicated to their job, who wants to succeed and make a difference. They start their day early, checking emails before they've even had breakfast, and often find themselves working late into the night. Weekends are no longer a time for rest. They're simply an extension of the workweek, filled with tasks and projects that never seem to end. On the surface, this might look like productivity and commitment, but underneath, it's a life out of balance. The constant pressure, the lack of rest, and the absence of personal time lead to burnout, stress, and a feeling of emptiness that no amount of professional success can fill. This is where the middle way comes in. Rather than swinging to the extremes of workaholism or neglect, it encourages us to find a balanced approach. It's about working hard and striving for excellence, but also knowing when to step back to rest and to reconnect with the other aspects of our lives that bring us joy and fulfillment. One of the key practices that can help us maintain this balance is mindfulness. Rooted in Buddhist teachings, mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, of giving our complete attention to whatever we're doing. Imagine starting your day with a few minutes of mindful meditation. You sit quietly, focusing on your breath, letting go of the distractions and anxieties that often fill our minds. As you breathe in and out, you set an intention for your day, to approach your work with focus and dedication, but also to honor your need for rest, for connection, and for peace. As you move through your day, mindfulness becomes a tool to help you stay balanced. When you're working on a task, you give it your full attention, not letting your mind wander to what's next on your to-do list. When you take a break, you truly disconnect from work, even if it's just for a few minutes, allowing your mind and body to rest. And when the workday ends, you make a conscious decision to switch off, to leave work behind and fully engage with your personal life. Whether that's spending time with your family, pursuing a hobby, or simply relaxing. Let me share another example of how the middle way can be applied in our daily lives. Consider a parent who's also a working professional. They're constantly juggling the demands of their job with the responsibilities of raising a family. It's easy to fall into the trap of extremes, either throwing themselves entirely into work and feeling guilty about not spending enough time with their children, or focusing so much on family life that their career starts to suffer. The middle way offers a solution. By setting clear boundaries and priorities, they can create a balance that honors both their professional ambitions and their family responsibilities. It might mean leaving work at a reasonable hour to be home for dinner, even if it means not getting everything done that day. It's about being fully present with their children during family time, and then giving their best at work when they're there. Another critical aspect of achieving work-life balance is living with intention. In Buddhist practice, intention is about making choices that align with our deepest values and priorities. It's about understanding what truly matters to us and making decisions that reflect those values. For instance, someone who values their health might choose to prioritize exercise and healthy eating, even when work is demanding. Someone who values relationships might set aside regular time for their loved ones, even if it means saying no to extra work commitments. Living with intention also means being mindful of the impact our choices have on our overall well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of work and forget about the importance of rest, relaxation, and personal time. But when we live with intention, we make a conscious effort to create a life that's balanced, fulfilling, and aligned with our true values. Let's explore a real-life scenario that illustrates the importance of intention and mindfulness in creating work-life balance. Imagine a professional who's constantly on the go, always trying to stay ahead of the game. They're successful in their career, but they're also constantly stressed, tired, and disconnected from their personal life. They rarely take time for themselves, and their relationships are suffering as a result. One day, they decide to make a change. They start by setting a clear intention to create a life that's balanced, where work is important but not all-consuming, and where there's space for rest, relationships, and personal growth. They begin by incorporating small mindfulness practices into their daily routine. Each morning, they spend a few minutes meditating, setting an intention for the day. Throughout the day, they take short breaks to breathe, to reconnect with the present moment, and to remind themselves of their commitment to balance. They also set boundaries around their work, deciding to leave the office at a certain time, not checking emails after a certain hour, and dedicating time each evening to activities that bring them joy and relaxation. Over time, they start to notice a difference. They feel less stressed, more present, and more fulfilled. Their relationships improve, and they're able to enjoy their work without feeling overwhelmed. By living with intention and practicing mindfulness, they've created a life that's balanced, harmonious, and aligned with their deepest values. As we conclude, I want to share some practical tips on how you can integrate mindfulness and meditation into your daily routine to foster a balanced, fulfilling life. Start small, with just a few minutes of mindfulness each day. It could be a short meditation in the morning, a mindful walk during your lunch break, or simply taking a few deep breaths before you start a new task. The key is consistency, making mindfulness a regular part of your life, so it becomes a natural tool for creating balance. Another tip is to set clear boundaries around your work and personal life. This might mean setting specific work hours and sticking to them, not checking emails outside of those hours, and making time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation. It's also important to regularly check in with yourself to see if you're living in alignment with your values and priorities. If you notice that you're veering toward an extreme, take a step back and gently guide yourself back to the middle path. Finally, remember that achieving work-life balance is not about perfection. It's a continuous process, a journey of learning, growing, and adjusting. By following the middle way, by living with intention, and by practicing mindfulness, you can navigate the demands of modern life with greater ease, creating a life that's balanced, fulfilling, and deeply aligned with who you are. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Buddhist teachings and how they can guide us toward a harmonious work-life balance. I hope you find these insights helpful as you navigate your own journey toward balance and fulfillment.